Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Everybody in
Everyone's
the
slowly coming in. Exciting.
Yeah,
uh,
Welcome, welcome.
good to see
Spirit
everyone.
Chat number 8. And today, Mari and I are being joined by the beautiful angel lady, otherwise known as Maura O'Leary. And I'm going to let Mari introduce and let you know some wonderful things about Maura.
Well, welcome, everybody. Thank you, Winter, for the nice introduction. Yes, we got snow here. What is that all about? So I'm very sad. There's snow in the background. You know, that's how it is in New England. But thank you for coming, and thank you, Winter. And thank you to our amazing guest, Maura O'Leary, who is not only a good friend of mine, but she is amazing. So if you have any angel needs, you definitely want to contact her. But as a short bio on her, she is a medium. She is an angel intuitive. She does angel card readings. She is also a Reiki master and can send amazing distance healings. I have been, benefited by that many times. So I can attest that it is amazing the energy that she sends and spot on. And she's also a best-selling author of the book When Angels Play Poker, available on Amazon, and I assume it's available on your website as well.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
And a little bird told me that there may be a couple more editions of that coming, new chapters. So if you've read the book, if you haven't, pick it up. It's a quick, easy read. I'm not a huge reader, but it was really amazing and very, very touching. Highly recommend the book. Amazing. She's won awards for the book, best-selling. Definitely take a look at it. And she is here with us today. Thank you so, so much for coming on. I'm so grateful. And she's going to do some readings and talk a little bit about her work and about the angels that surround us, and especially around the holiday season. There's definitely more of that interaction. So take it away, Maura, and tell us more about what you do.
Thank you.
Maura, darling, could you just give me their website? I'm putting it at the top of the chat. So if people want to write it down.
Yeah, it's Maura O'Leary, MauraOleary.com.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Mari. What an amazing intro. Thank you so much. I am so thrilled to be here today, and I can tell you my angel team is really thrilled to be here. From waking up this morning till now, they have been just super excited, and am happy that I'm sharing my knowledge of the angels and how they've impacted me and how that can impact you. And, hopefully we can do some readings too. Some quick readings at the end of the day. But I figured I would tell you a little bit about, my background, and also then talk about some of the angels, the archangels and different angels that are out there that are around us. And to let you know right from the get-go that we are so loved above every day by angels, and they're with you. Your guardian angel is with you, but never doubt they're not close by. And for me, like I think Mari and Winter, I grew up being an intuitive, but just didn't know what that meant. I was psychic, I'd know things, I'd, tell people things, but I didn't channel it because, we're on the earth plane here, and we need to do what we do in life with jobs and relationships and all of that. So I really just kept pushing it a bit to the side. But then I'd like to say in 2013 was my year of enlightenment. So that, because I knew all along, I kept saying to myself, I know I'm gifted I know I'm blessed and gifted. I just don't know what I'm to do with all of this. So in 2013, I ended up going to a beautiful place called Heaven on Earth on the South Shore with Karen Paolino. And I became certified as an angel messenger. That was originally why I went down. And then I'd see a flyer with upcoming things. And one was Reiki, and I was like, well, what's that? And then another one was mediumship with Rita Berkowitz. And I literally went to that just to see what Rita does. And I ended up getting certified to become a medium, and I got Reiki 1 and 2 level done while I was there. So all this happened in 2013, and I never knew I was, that I could have all these modalities and be so gifted. And then from there, I started getting downloads and nudges about writing a book. And so I wrote the book, and then I also became trained as a Reiki master out in at Kripalu in Western Mass. So that's kind of my background and history. And ever since then, I've been doing this work and love every part of it, but especially the angel work and the healing work. And I feel from above, that's what I'm supposed to be doing for people. So that's kind of giving a summary of me. But today I'd like to talk with everybody about the angels overall, and what type of angels are out there around you. I think the first thing, I'm sure some of you know that there's archangels around us, but I don't know if you all know there's 16 of them. And I figured I'd focus in a little bit on the major ones that I work a lot with and share that with you, if you'd be interested in that.
I think we are interested in anything you have to say about the angels. I know there's a lot of people queued up in the Zoom. There's people that are showing up on Facebook and YouTube. So if I'm looking down, I'm just trying to check all my different streams, but absolutely. And I know people might have questions also. So
yes, and let me know if they do.
Questions at the end, that would be great. So
so to highlight a few of the archangels that are out there and around us, the first one I wanted to mention was Archangel Ariel, and she is the archangel for Mother Earth. It's a very important angel for us right now, but she's the one that you would go to help protect Mother Earth, ask what we can do. That's what she's there for. And then Camiel is the angel of love and compassion. And then we have Gabriel, which a lot of people know about, which is about hope. Metatron is one not a lot of people know about, but this is an angel I've been studying more on recently. It's a very powerful angel that's all about empowerment. So if you're looking to do something different, or you just need more self-confidence, just go to Archangel Metatron, which is a beautiful one to go to for that. Archangel Michael is the most powerful angel, closest to God, which I'm sure many people know about. But this is an angel that is around you to protect you anytime you need protection. And I've had this angel around me many times, incredibly powerful and loving presence, and very big angel with huge rings. And there is also Archangel Raphael, who is for healing. That's who you would go to and pray to when you need healing, or somebody, a loved one needs healing. And there is Uriel, which is becoming, I sense when I was meditating on this today, that Uriel is becoming just as powerful as Ariel and even Michael, because Uriel is the angel that handles weather. And he seems to have a much more powerful job, and the climate. So this is who we pray to, or, send intentions to and have conversations to about the planet, the climate, and our weather, is Archangel Uriel. And then the last one is that I wanted to mention is Orion, which helps with manifestation. So that gives you an idea of some that I'm sure many of you know, but some that you might not know. So I wanted to bring those up. And then obviously, in addition to that, we have ascended masters, and you can always pray to those, which is, you know, Buddha and Jesus and Moses and Mary. And yet then on the other side, you've got Yogananda and Krishna. And one that I don't always say what, Lakshma, which is for money, is one of the ones you go to for money. So that's the higher realm. But if you want to work with angels every day, which I do, there's all types of other angels out there to help you every single day. And those include angels that are specialty angels, as well as unemployed angels. And a few that I can show you as examples of specialty angels. And maybe I'll pause right there for a second. Mari, does anybody have questions about the archangels or anything I've mentioned so far?
Yeah.
Sorry. Winter and I are like ready to go.
We have a question in the queue. Yes. Linda Allen said she feels very lost and disconnected from her angels and guides. And she's looking for advice on how to connect with them or hear them so that she can learn more about what her gifts are. She does recognize numbers. She just feels that she's not so connected with the angels.
Okay.
So what would your advice be?
I would say one of the ways to look is to look for signs, to be as open as possible to signs that might come through, even ones that don't make sense to you. Don't dismiss them. They might be something coming through. But the other thing I say is, you know, talk to them every morning and every night and have a conversation. And a lot of times what the angels will say to me, set an intention with us. Tell us exactly what you need and you want, but make it very specific. And you will be amazed. Now, a lot of times I'll get a card that says it's all in divine timing. So don't think, well, I did that. I made a list. I talked to them. I told them what I wanted and let's go here. And it might be, you know, a month, 2 months, 3 months. But as long as you stay open, there will be a sign that should come through for you around what you're seeking and what your intention is. And I'm going to give a few examples of things that have happened to me with some angels. And I'm sure everyone here has got different experiences, but what I've found over time is the most open you are, and if you trust that they do hear you and they are working on your prayer, your wish, your request, if you know that, it will come through in some way as a sign to you. And, you know, I'm happy to go offline with that person and have her email me and see if I can work with her as well.
That's a beautiful answer. Yeah, that was Linda Allen. And yeah, Linda, definitely get a hold of Maura because she's amazing. I know Linda as well. And she's really very connected. Hi. She's very connected with the angels. It can definitely see
Hi,
sort
Linda.
of if there's holes, you know, sort of, you know, where you need to sort of open up your understanding to have a better connection. Definitely, you know, connect with her offline. And that was a beautiful answer because a lot of it, what you're talking about is your intention, right? And so sometimes, you know, and I'm guilty of this myself, is that you want something or you want to see help, but it's like your negative thoughts might creep in and you're like, oh, it's not going to work, or oh, I feel so sad, or whatever. That almost in some way kind of blocks things a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say more? Because it's really more about being open and saying, okay, this is what I'm looking for, this is what I need, and then having that sort of, you know, metaphysical, spiritual openness and allowing, as opposed to saying like, no, negative, all that.
Right. It's, you need to release it to them and just let it go and say, I leave this with my angels and trust. I mean, I get a card all the time for different people when I do readings that has the trust. And it says, please trust in us. Know we're listening. I mean, just the other day, like 3 readings in a row. In the batch, I got guardian angel, trust, and listening, and angel support. And it was saying to them, look, seriously, we're behind you. We get it. We know what you want, and we're working on it. Because a lot of people, you don't know. It's not like they start talking back to you, so you
Right.
question it. But if you release it and trust in them, they will come back tenfold with love and understanding and hopefully help.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. And I think it sort of is a good segue into our next question. Somebody else posted in the chat, because we're talking about trusting, because you're right. You put the question out there and you're like, I don't know. I don't see anything. And then you're like, oh, it's never going to happen or whatever. But this next person asked, is there an angel or an archangel that will help with stress and anxiety? And I thought that was a really good question, because so many people, everybody suffers that, from time to time.
Right. I think for me, Archangel Raphael, which is all about healing.
Okay.
And for me personally, I also go to the masters. I will go to Mary and ask for help and guidance. But the other one to ask every day, every minute of every day, is your guardian angel. And your guardian angel is with you from the moment you're born until the moment you die. They are the ones that bring your soul of light back to heaven. But they're with you every day. So that's another person to go to and ask, how do I help? How do you help me with the stress? And I think by doing that and trusting that, and a lot of times when we all suffer from stress in some way. A lot of times I do my asking at night before I go to bed. And I say, Archangel Raphael, or whoever I want to intend it to, or guardian angel, please, while I sleep, help me de-stress tonight. Help release my worries. And I find that when you do this at night, when you get up the next day, you'll feel a difference. That's me anyways.
Yeah, no, that's a really good tip, because I think, because people might connect with signs, or like Linda was saying, she sees numbers, or you might get messages. But I think for some people, angels seem like a little more out there, and they have a harder time. Like, I don't know, do I really have a guardian angel? Like, why would they care about me? Kind of, and just as I'm saying that, someone else said, how do you find out how your main guardian angel, like who your main guardian angel is? That's a great question.
Okay, then I want to share something too that goes along the lines of a couple things that have been said.
Sure.
Go ahead, Winter.
Oh, no, I was going to let you answer Linda's question. How can you find out who your main guardian angel is?
Yeah, so I say the way to do it is through meditation, and to go into a meditation and try to visualize seeing them. I have a meditation I do with people that I can help you meet your guardian angel. But for me, it's knowing that they're there and looking for the signs from them, but there are ways to do meditation to ask for them to come through to you. And if you do that in your relaxed state and open and trusting, in a lot of cases, you are able to, feel them and or see them. And also, if you continually get a repetitive sign, I take that, and it doesn't relate to anything else. It doesn't relate to a loved one who's passed or something. You're just like, why am I keep getting the sign, a feather or whatever it may be? That's probably your guardian angel coming through saying, I am here with you, right here by your side.
Okay.
So I hope that helps.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think it's really helpful, because a lot of it is like the trusting piece, right? Is that we have to trust that they're there and that they're listening to us. And Winter, you said you had a couple stories that you wanted to add sort of about the angels. And
yeah, just one. They're there, even if you haven't asked them, they can show up. And the reason I say that, so they're watching over. I know that the thought process is that angels don't intervene unless you request assistance. So when I was reopening my mediumship, which had shut down for most of my life, and I was never exposed to this area, my daughter Dakota was about 2.5 and going on 3. And she would never sleep through the night. It always sounded like she was having a party. I mean, actually, she'd climb out of the crib and empty the drawers every night. So
You have the same kids.
yeah. The older one, Dakota gave me a run for the money, but now she's like totally wonderful. And easygoing kid. But anyway, she's having conversations. So I decided to ask her, who are you talking to? Because again, I was just starting to unfold the psychic abilities and the mediumship abilities. And she would tell me Glassy Angel and Sandy Man. Now, I never read her any books or anything like that. I did have books from Doreen Virtue. And I thought she meant Sandy Man was the Sandman, because that I had talked to her about. The Sandman put sleepies in your eyes at night. Turns out, finally, after like the 3rd time this child tells me who she was talking to was Glassy Angel and Sandy Man, I just got this impression, and I looked in her angel book, and she described Archangel Meteron as the angel with the most laser-like aura. Wow. And he normally travels with Archangel Sandalphon, who was previously a human, one of the few archangels that were human. And they're very much involved with children. So there you go. Glassy Angel was the laser-like aura of Archangel Meteron, and Sandy Man was Sandalphon. Now, the child did not read at that point, so it wasn't like she was picking up my books and reading, and she must have gotten the information from somewhere, because I didn't read the book to her or anything. So I really thought that was kind of interesting. So they do, if a child's very open, so they can say this, but there was no way. So just take that as you put it in your filing cabinet. So when you start to question whether the angels have responded or near you, remember this 2.5-year-old, I'm sure she didn't ask for her angels, because we never talked about that. So they just came and visited. So I just throw that out there,
Right.
trust that they're there.
Yeah, children are incredibly open, and I think they even see them.
Well, Dakota saw Glassy Angel, and she said Angel and Sandy Man.
Right. Yeah, no, it's amazing how open kids are. And then as we get older, it's like that whole area shuts down. But absolutely, from the moment you're born, you have a guardian angel. And I would just say, just ask them every day, show me a sign. And they're going to come through in some way to let you know, or you will know based on a life event that happens, that's some sort of a close call or whatever, that is most likely your guardian angel being right at your side. But thanks for sharing that, Winter. I have a few short stories to tell you about angels that have helped me over time. One was a few years ago, that it was a winter storm. It was a bad storm. And I decided, because my car is outside, I don't have a garage, I decided to go and stay at a hotel that had an undercar garage to it. And I went and did that. And I had a new car, and I wasn't paying attention how the whole automatic light off on thing was going. And I stayed overnight, and I went out to my car when I was, all lucky I didn't have to take the snow off or anything. And I went out to the car and it wouldn't start. And the car was pretty new. And I'm like, what's going on? Why won't the battery start? And I tried 3 times. And then I realized it was because I had an automatic light. Because it was in darkness, the light stayed on overnight. So I went back inside the hotel because I needed reception. I called AAA. I couldn't even get through. I tried a couple of times and I said, I just want to get home. And I went out to my car and I probably said a prayer. I don't exactly remember, but I know I didn't invoke the angels. I think I just said to above, please help me out here. And the car started. And so I thought, well, maybe it was a fluke thing overall. But I remember when I drove home, it was like a 15-minute drive home. I felt the presence of angels all around me because I got the feeling if you stop this car, you will not start it again. Even at the lights, I'm like, okay, I got to get home. So I got home, got in the house, called AAA, had the guy come. And so he comes and shows up and I said to him, hey, I don't know, maybe I just had a fluky thing with the battery. I think it's fine now. And he opens up the car and he's like, your battery is as dead as can be. And I said, well, no, I thought it was, but then I got home and he said, you can't go anywhere with this. There's no juice at all. And that's when I realized the guardian angel, an angel had come down and started my car. And that's what I call a specialty angel, probably an angel that had auto mechanic from when they were in this life and then they went up above and they helped start my car. Because that's the only way, it just sent chills down my spine that I had gotten home with that one final jolt of battery life. And for me, I believe that was an angel that helped me, and what I call a specialty angel.
Wow.
Nice story.
Yeah. So that is one story I wanted to share. And then another one I wanted to share, which I think Mari can help me out with, is there are angels that are specifically, what I've found, they do specific things. So in the case of the battery, that must have been an auto mechanic type angel that came down, did its thing and got me home. But the other thing that I've been working on recently is with the weather angels. And so Mari and I did this cool thing that this past summer, she went away to Miami, I think, or Florida or somewhere. And the year before you went, and it rained the whole time, right?
Yes, it did. And I wasn't sure if you wanted to talk about the weather angel, so I'm glad you brought it up. And I know people might be rolling their eyes, but yes, it's really a real thing. And the year before I went, it was pouring rain, and then we were going to go again. We went again this year. And so I reached out to Maura and I was like, I know that you work with the angels. Is there any way you can see if you can work with the weather? Because I looked at the forecast and it was supposed to be raining again. And I was like, oh, I don't want to go down there and sit in the rain again for a week. So Maura worked her magic and
and I need to intervene and just say, Mari did not know this, but when I went and asked the angels and said, please help them have a good trip with no rain, I heard at 4:30 every day, it will rain, but it will stop. And every day I asked you how things went.
Yes, you did. She was texting me and I was like, I don't know what's happening, but we got a little sprinkle and then the clouds cleared away. So it didn't rain really at all. Like it might have rained for, 10 minutes or like the year before.
But it was all around that time.
Yes, exactly. And it was the same time. And I was talking to my kids and they're like, ask Maura to make sure it's not going to rain. I'm like, she's working on it. Don't worry. So that is, that is now one of her new specialties is the working with the weather angels. And I can tell you it worked. We had a beautiful sunny vacation with just kind of little tiny rain breaks around 4:30. And other than that, it was sunny. So it works.
Yeah, and that's just another example of specialty angels. So, the reason I'm telling this story is to tell everyone here, reach out and ask any angel if they can help you with any issue that you have. They're there for you. They're there for us. That's their job. And something that I saw a recent interview that Kyle Gray did, who's an amazing medium and angel person. He said, one thing to always remember at the end of every day, no matter whether it's really small or really big, anything an angel did for you, thank them. Because there's nothing that brings them more joy than hearing from you, telling them how grateful you are for having them around. And they will bring more and more to you based on that, in my belief. I just feel like, they're there to help in any way. So,
Well, I think that the angels did me a great act today. I won a raffle. I found out an hour before. I volunteer with a cat rescue called Alley Cats Rescue. They're wonderful, by the way, wonderful people, and they run raffles a lot. And I'm always buying raffle tickets, and I never win, and that's fine because I'm really just giving the money for them to use. But I won, and it was something I needed. My windows are awfully dirty, and I won window washing. Somebody volunteered to, window washing company. They donated a little prize to wash a certain number of windows. And I usually don't, win the raffle. So I was like, oh, I think it has to do with the angels that are coming on at the show. And I was like, thank you. And thank you, Maura.
They were definitely this morning letting me know they were around and very excited for this show today. And that's the way I wanted to talk about signs too. There's all sorts of different signs that you can get. For me, music is a big one. It's just the way they communicate a lot with me. But obviously numbers and feathers and coins, animals, birds, and then things and lights, electronic stuff, if they can make something work electronically, because it's all about energy. Don't forget that. It's all about energy, and that the energy it takes for your loved ones to come through is really, really a lot. So when they finally find a way to connect through angels or through by their own way, it's very meaningful. And just know it takes a lot for them to get that to come through. If the lights flicker of a radio station with a song comes on that's specific, it's pretty amazing and cool things that they do. I have a really cool story to tell that happened on Thanksgiving Day. And I think it's kind of a story to say that, these things can happen as long as you're as open as can be to whatever. It is amazing what can come through for you. So I went to leave Thanksgiving Day to go visit a friend and hang out for Thanksgiving. And I closed my door to my deck, and, there's the railings and you go down the stairs. Well, I felt like I was in like a Disney movie, because I step outside the door and what's coming to me at full force in alignment are 4 sparrows, and they're all coming right at me. And then they all stop right on the deck railing all at the same time, 1, 2, 3, 4. And they just sit there and stare at me. It was the most incredible thing. And what I didn't do purposely, I didn't move and I didn't go for the camera, because what an amazing picture it would have been. But it was all about being in the moment with nature and what was happening. Those 4 birds coming were there for me. And one of them chirped and one chirped on the other. I was like, well, happy Thanksgiving to you too. And then the one on the left went boop, boop, right into my evergreen tree, and the other 3 followed. It was like a synchronicity of a sparrow, movie. But I wanted to share it because it was amazing that it happened. But I took the time to stop and see it and not be in a rush, and realized that was for me, that those 4 sparrows came in to say hi and then jumped off. And that's what can happen for all of us if we take the time to pause and notice and not grab the phone, just take in what's happening around us. So.
Absolutely. That's such an amazing story. I haven't heard that one before. So thank you for sharing.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Super cool. And well, and the other thing I wanted to add, and I think I've probably talked with you about this before, Maura, is that originally, many years ago, before I really started doing this work, and I don't know where I got this into my head, but I'm thinking maybe other people feel the same way. I didn't want to bother the angels. I'm like, I don't want to bother you. They're busy. They got better people to help. I don't know. There's wars going on. Why would they care if, I need help with a parking spot or whatever. And especially, and I know I've talked to more about this, my youngest son is a billiards player. He's a teenager and he plays billiards. And that's a really hard game. He plays at a very high level. And so I was like, he could really use help. And I have asked for the angels' help many, many times while he's playing billiards, and he has received phenomenal help. He's a great player, but sometimes everybody needs a little angelic help. But my original feeling was like, well, why would they want to bother? Like, I don't want to bug them. And so maybe you could speak to that a little bit more.
Yes.
I feel like that's sometimes gets in people's ways of asking for help.
Right. So that is their job. There's something called unemployed angels. They literally sit up there and wait for any and all of us to ask for help of whatever type that we need.
Oh.
And I think in, our society, as Mari just mentioned, we don't want to bother people. We've been brought up like, don't ask for a lot, don't make a huge list for Christmas, don't, impose. At least I was brought up this way. I'm sure many people are like, just don't be a bother.
Yeah.
But the angels want to be bothered. They want to be asked. It's like, it makes their day to help anybody in the smallest or largest way. So, when I work with people, I tell them a lot, make a list, the list as long as possible, as specific as possible. If you're looking for somebody to love, if you're looking for a specific home, a job, whatever it may be, they are just waiting for the list of everything that you need to go off and do. And, I can tell you, I do this sometimes too. You can be having a busy day, a rough day, a lot going on in your life. And let's say in the morning, you ask the angels to help you find a parking spot. And if there's anyone on this call right now that's like, I really don't believe in any of this. Really? Does this really happen? The test I tell people, especially this time of year, when you go to a mall and you're in a rush and you need a parking space, ask an angel. You will be blown away. It happens all the time, how they will find you the spot you need. But that's an example of how mundane or small it can be up to something very important to you. So you can start a day and be in a rush and ask an angel for a parking spot or for something else. And then midday, you need something else. You're like, I can't ask. I already asked for the parking spot and got it. I can't ask for anything. You can ask for 20 things in a day. And the angels don't look at it that way. They look at, that's their job, is to do nothing but give you love and support any way that they can. So, they just want to shower us all with love and protection and see us happy. So any way they can help with any of those things, they will.
Well, thank you for that. Yeah, that's such a beautiful message, because I think you're totally right. And I'm sure, Winter, you can probably speak to this too, is that at least many people I've, come across, clients or just regular people, like, people don't feel deserving. There's a piece about not feeling deserving of spiritual help, of angelic help. And you're right, because that was actually the first thing that popped in my mind. I'm like, well, if I already asked for help with a parking space, I can't ask for more help. Like, I don't want, so I think that's probably a common theme. And hearing that from you, this is what you do every day, this is your work, your calling. I think it's important for people to know that, number one, that you are deserving, and number two, like, the angels really want to help. Like, that makes them so happy. And it's like, if we don't ask, it's almost like we're taking away some of their happiness, right?
Yes, because that's their mission. That's what they do in heaven, is help us here any way that they can. And so, yes. And like I said, I mean, there's thousands upon thousands of angels above. In addition to the archangels, there's so many angels below them. There's army of angels. I mean, when I'm doing serious healing, I ask for my army of healing angels to come through, and they have never ever failed me I'm very careful with that request because it's very powerful, but I only do it when I really need it. And it's amazing. I can just feel it, that there's all these angels, in a room. And when it's something more serious, then I do go to the archangels too. I mean, I go to Archangel Michael and Raphael, and others when I need them. I need more oomph.
Yeah, I know
but
that.
there are everyday unemployed angels. Not Doreen Virtue. Laura Byrne talks a lot about unemployed angels, and Lorna Byrne is over in Ireland, and she is somebody who can see angels. Now, I unfortunately cannot do that, but I can feel them and I can hear them, talking when I need them to. So
Amazing. We got a question in the group. It's kind of very interesting from Denise. Thanks, Denise. Have you ever heard of angels singing in Latin and appearing as orbs of light with musical sounds?
Oh, cool.
that is very cool.
Yeah.
I haven't. I do get visions of angels in different ways, but if you got that, that is just beautiful. And that's a gift.
For sure. And I think, and you can probably speak to this as well, that I think probably people see things in different ways. Like I've definitely seen orbs of light, and sometimes I'll hear things, and I think everybody, their gifts are sort of in different ways. So
Yes.
Denise, if you heard that, or if you felt that, then that would be sort of how you receive things. Whereas somebody might, hear something else or get a feeling, or like sometimes I'll sort of feel the energy around me. Like honestly, Maura, I have to tell you, the whole time you've been on, I keep getting chills through me, and I feel them. I have my angel wings here, but
yes, you do.
I feel
My
them
little
all
angel
around
wings.
me. Yeah, exactly. So I very much feel them in the room. I hope others that are either watching live or watching the feedback, if you feel sort of that like warm embrace, or almost like the hairs on the back of your neck stand up, or just maybe a change of temperature, it's just
Or
know
a peacefulness,
yes,
around you too, a calm.
exactly. Just like then just know that it is your angels being around you, trying to connect with you and wanting to love you. I mean, I think that's what they're all about. The angels are all about love.
And yeah, they know that I mean, we here on earth as a whole, we need a lot of love. There's not a lot of love out there right now, and they want us to know they'll bring it to us anytime we ask, any way that they can. So, and I can feel, I mean, like I said, all day today they've been doing this waiting to come in. But now for me personally, I don't see orbs, and I don't see auras. I don't see angels either, but I feel, as Mari said, I feel them in different ways, and I can hear them sometimes too.
Well, Maura, the minute you signed on, I just saw your aura just containing the most brilliant white light. That tells me, that's the way I perceive it, that the angels were all around you. Remember I said, oh, because it was just like, wow.
No, I've been told that there is a beam of white light that goes right over me.
Yep, that's what I saw. And it was
wow, thank you. I'm glad it's still on. Will I do it?
Sweetheart, what would be lovely? Would you consider maybe doing some readings?
Yes, you read my mind. That's what we do here.
Yeah, I'm nosy like that.
I figured I wanted us to do this. So here's what I'm going to do first. I pulled 2 cards for everybody that's online here, so you don't feel you're being left out. So you got something. I pulled from Cheryl Richardson has a beautiful deck of cards. I don't know if you can see it, but it's self-care cards. So I went and pulled two, actually I pulled one, and then I said, nah, people are not going to buy into this, so I better go get another card. But I asked, what can you share with me for everyone's highest and best for this new year? And so the card that came through first was for 2023, rejuvenation. And what it says is rejuvenate your body, your mind, and your spirit. And get a good night's sleep, all of those. But I'll just turn this around so you can see that. I can take a picture of it and send it out to Mari. But you know, this is a beautiful card for the new year, but I think people could say, well, everybody's told to do this. Everybody hopes to do this in the new year. So I also pulled a second card, and the card that I got was nature. It says, take in the beauty of nature and feed your soul. And when I asked, well, tell me more about that. Why should they take a walk in nature? And I don't know if it was one of the archangels coming through or not, but what I heard very strongly is love the earth that we have now and walk in nature and take it in. And when I thought about what that meant to me, I'm in New England and we had a really bad drought this year. And it made me see the Charles River go down to like the lowest levels I ever saw. It saw a reservoir that still hasn't come back up to the level it needs. I mean, all over the country. I mean, there were dinosaur bones found and sadly some remains found at Lake Mead or whatever. But the point is the earth, the way that we know this earth, who knows how long it's going to be the way that it is. So take in nature and all that its beauty as it is now and in this year. So, and also to take walks in nature are a beautiful calming thing, and it disconnects you from online and lets you connect with Mother Earth. So I hope those two cards resonate with people overall, but those are the two cards.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so, but I would like to take some time here to do, the way I was going to do this, and maybe we can do 2 or 3, was pull 3 cards for some other people asking to get readings on here or no?
Yes, actually. Everyone, before just want to announce that Mari was putting a link in for your book.
Okay.
So if they check the chat room, they'll see a link directly to get your book. And Linda, I see you, Linda. Linda would like a reading.
Okay. Hi, Linda.
And you can
so what I'm going to do,
if you want.
What I'm going to do is not ask you what you want, but I mean, I can do if you have a specific question. But mainly I was going to just do a quick shuffle of the cards that I have here. And share 3 cards with you, Linda, for the beginning. Perfect. Would that work?
Yes, that'll work.
Okay. For the start of the new year, and the first card will be the most important, obviously. So let me see what I have here and then tell you. Okay. So what's coming up first for you, Linda, is that 2023 is going to be a year of abundance for you, and to expect miracles around that in opportunities. And it's something I'm being told that you have been hoping for and praying about, and that they're hearing you, and that this year, I'm just going to show the card. I don't know if you can see it. This year will be the year of abundance for you, finally.
Nice.
And that to expect miracles around that. So it'll come to you in a way that will surprise you, but with joy. And so, and the third card was divine timing. But what I'm hearing about that for you is you've been waiting for this, and you've been really kind of doubting and going, come on, are you even hearing me? And they're
Yes.
letting you know, we've told you it's about divine timing and that this is the year. Does that make sense?
Yes, makes perfect sense. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm glad that that worked for you.
Thank you.
So I don't know if we have somebody else.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just checking I think we have a couple people. I was just checking my Facebook, and Lee Doran Thornton. Sorry if I'm murdering your last name. I don't know if I've ever said your last name, Lee. Anyway, she's a lovely lady. I know her. I've worked with her before, and she is hoping to get a reading from you. So her
Okay.
first
All
name
right.
is
Does she
Lee.
have anything specific, or is she okay with general?
She just said yes, she would like a reading. So I don't
Okay,
think
then
there's
we'll
anything
go there.
specific.
Okay.
Yeah, just see what's coming up for her.
Sure.
Thank you. And Linda says, thank you so much, Maura.
You're welcome. Okay. So the first card that comes up for her, for Linda, is support. Notice this beautiful card. I always love this card. It's angels surrounding you as a group, and it's called support. They want you to know that they're surrounding you constantly. Never doubt that. It's just the most beautiful card. And they hear you, and they're working through what you're asking for them to do. But the next card in the new year, so this would be, like in February, is surrender and release. And what that card means is for you to let go of that which you cannot control or solve. And hopefully this makes sense to you. But if there are challenges and issues out there and you're trying to fix it and make it the way it should be, they're telling you in the new year to absolutely surrender and release that to the angels. Let them go solve that problem for you. And know that because of their abundant support, they're going to be able to do that for you. And the third card is self-acceptance. And I think it relates to this surrender and release, to accept the situation, but release it to above and just say, please deal with this for me. Because this past year, that issue, issue they're talking about has really consumed you. And so in 2023, let that go. So I hope that makes sense to you. And I will send you these 3 cards afterwards, if you'd like.
Thank you. That was
Awesome.
beautiful. Yeah, I have her on the chat here, and I know she's watching on Facebook. So I'm sure she'll probably leave some feedback. I know the Facebook feed's a little bit delayed, but for that was beautiful. And I'm sure that it resonated with her since I didn't
If
know.
not, if she's got another question, she can let me know. But I'm going to switch decks to a little bit funner and lighter deck, because I'm feeling like they want me to switch to this other energy. So whoever's next, I
I
can.
think Terry.
Terry?
Yes, Terry's here with us. So Terry, you can unmute if you'd like.
Okay.
Okay,
All right. Terry, I'm going to pull 3 cards for you.
please.
Okay, this is really cool. I love this first card because it's so 2023. You are so ready for this new year, because the card is telling me, I hear the angels going, oh, she is so done with 2022. It's ready, set, go. So, and what it reads is, now is the perfect time to dive in and embrace your heart's desire. So make 2023 your year to go off and do whatever you've been wanting to do, but you may have stalled it out for the past few years. And then the next card is, which is a card actually that resonates very much with me and hopefully with you, is music for manifestation. So anytime you need to focus on what you want, your desires, your plans for the new year, your wishes, manifest and meditate to music. And that will clarify things for you. And then the third one, which I think is beautiful, because I really like this reading for you, because it's pretty much telling me, you just go, do whatever you want this year. It's all for you. Manifest your best for this year in 2023, for your highest and best, what you want, manifest it, make a list. And it says here, make a wish. So they are, I don't know how 2022 was for you, but from this reading, it's telling me this is your year to just manifest, leave it with them, make a wish, and it'll happen. Does that make sense?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, good.
That was beautiful. And I know we have other people waiting, but just wanted to give you, Lee popped back on Facebook and said, bless you and thank you for the reading. And it absolutely meant so much to me. So just to give you some feedback. So yeah, good job.
The angels say thank you.
Yeah.
Let me see here. I can do another one.
Next, Melody Dennis said she would love a reading, health-wise.
See her there.
Love. Yes, are you on there?
Yep, she's right below you.
Oh, okay, yeah, I have the screen different probably.
I also have this beautiful health deck by Archangel Raphael. So if anybody is on here that has a health question, pop on in over to Winter or Mari, let them know, and I'll pull cards from there. Okay, hang in there, Melody. I'm shuffling the cards for you here to get a good reading.
This has been great. Thank you so much, Maura, for coming on and doing things. And we're getting so much feedback on Facebook, and there's been like a million shares.
Awesome.
Yeah, so people are loving it. So thank you.
Yes, thank you.
All right, so I've got 3 for you, Melody. Hang on. Okay. So what I've got coming up for you is the first thing to do in 2023 is morning affirmations. Say positive affirmations each morning to open the gates to manifest. So I'm just going to put that there. And what it says in the beautiful picture. So for the new year, every morning, if you don't meditate now, try to start getting in the process of doing that every morning, and set a positive affirmation for the day in the week, and leave it with the angels and watch what happens. But that's a beautiful way to start the new year, and that's what they want you to do. And the second thing, I got this a lot for people when I was doing readings last week. Simplify your life, which I think is a great goal for everybody on here. It says eliminate clutter from your home and work-life balance the flow of activity. But by simplifying your life, I think you open yourself up more to the miracles of the angels and just of your life overall to slow down. And also decluttering. It's an excellent time of year to declutter. It's amazing that I do these reads, it comes up right in the beginning of the year. It's a great time to declutter. And when you do that, I'm sure Mari and Winter could relate to this, it opens up channels of energy that come in with new energy for you. It just opens the space. So let go of the old, get rid of the old. but also work on just simplifying life overall. And the third one is self-forgiveness. And what they're saying to you here is let go of any guilt. And remember, everybody on here, remember that you're God's perfect child. And so I think this was a beautiful reading for a new year, and I hope it resonates with you, Melody. But those are your 3 cards.
And I have one more person on my Facebook, Jesse Valcarcel Namis. And again, I also apologize if I just butchered your name, sweetheart. That's what you get from the Irish. But she just asked, she would love a reading if possible too. And she thanks you and the angels.
Okay. All right. I'm going to stay with these beautiful little dolphin deck cards. And I'm going to read for Jessie now. All right. This one feels like a career one. I'm like getting that energy that this is career related, or some sort of a shift in what you're going to do in 2023. And what it says is set your standards, your sights higher for 2023. Expect more for you and don't settle for less. And know that you're worth so much more than where you are right now. Don't doubt and look for the better offer or deal or opportunity for you. Set your sights higher. That's the first card I got for you for 2023. And related to that, so keep that in mind, related is explore your options. So I feel you are somebody gifted and in demand, and you should just wait for the best, most beautiful offer you can get. But it's telling me it is time in this new year to look for new opportunities. It's a great time for you to make a change. And then the third one, because it's always tough when you're looking to make a change and wondering, ooh, is this the right move for me? Stay optimistic. Know how wonderful you are, how powerful you are, and your dreams are going to come true. Don't quit right before the miracle occurs. And this would be March. So you've got a great year coming up. And I hope that resonates with you.
That was beautiful.
That was
I
a
love
beautiful
that.
message. And
Yeah.
March is funny because that matches up with astrological. Mars retrograde, our lecture we got from Denise, who's with us today.
Yes, Denise. Thank you for that.
It's going to move forward in mid-March. So,
Yes.
wow, the angels are validating that with someone else. And I'm sure as Jessie did comment, there's a delay with the Facebook, and she most definitely, and she thanks you and the angels so much for the reading.
You're welcome.
She understood. Great.
Yeah, I mean, this has been fantastic to do, and I hope that it's brought something to everybody here today.
I certainly understood one of those messages. I felt like it was a piggyback, so I thank you. And sorry, my dog made his presence known, as my Bengal cat now wants to.
That's fine. I'm a Reiki. I'm do Reiki for animals, so maybe they're feeling my white light energy coming through.
Yeah, no, the dog normally sits in the other room when I do these, and today wanted to be very much present.
Awesome.
So I think the dog loved your energy. And
absolutely. I don't think I've ever seen Magic come to a show. That's her dog. I've never seen Magic there, but the cats always come. But Magic he's grooving on your vibes.
No, and I'm a real dog person. I'm a cat and a dog person, but definitely a dog person. So
well, I just have the zoo here. So thank you, Maura, so much. For those of you, check the chat. We wrote it in. Otherwise, if you want to jot it down, Maura wrote the book, best-selling book, Do Angels Play Poker, which I can't wait to read. It sounds wonderful. Mari read it and gave it rave reviews.
Thank you.
And
Yes, she did.
also you have other events coming up, and you have those on your calendar on your website,
Yep.
MauraO'Leary.com. Did I memorize that right?
.com. Yes, MauraO'Leary.com. And I am pretty booked up until the beginning of January, but second week of January on, my reading schedule is open. So if people want to write to me, you can write to me info@MauraO'Leary.com to schedule a reading. And that's MauraOleary. And I also put a special on my hardcover book. The first 5 people that come through and would like a signed copy of my book, it's normally $30, but I'm doing it for $20, and I'm putting an angel feather in it.
Nice. That would make a lovely
and
Christmas
signing it
gift.
as well as a holiday gift.
Wonderful.
So, and I can mail it out. Yeah. So they can just email me, and the first 5 people that email me, I will send a pre-copied sign.
And Mari just put her email in the chat room, info@MauraO'Leary.com for questions and readings or the book.
Yeah.
And thank you again for coming, Mara, and giving of your time. We do appreciate it.
Yeah.
Mari, did you want to announce any upcoming events for yourself, sweetheart, or classes?
Yeah, I was looking through my calendar. What I wanted to say thank you to Maura so much for coming on. It was like I was feeling the energy the whole time and trying to feel. There's actually a couple of questions we didn't get to in the chat. There was a health reading, a couple of other things. But if anybody has more questions and wants to book a reading with Maura, please feel free. Go on her website, MauraO'Leary.com, or like she said, message her info@MauraO'Leary.com, and I'm sure she can help you with that. But
Yeah.
thank you. I would love to
You're
have
welcome. I loved being here today, and I can't thank you enough, Mari, for having me on. Both of you having me on, but Mari was the one that nudged me and said, "Would you like to do this?" And I loved every minute of it. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. Well, you were wonderful. And it was the energy, don't you feel it, Winter? The energy is just different with every guest, but it was I just felt like the whole time it's like, oh.
Also, I said when I first saw her, I was like, oh.
It's so nice. It's so nice. So I hope everyone out there can feel that, even if you're watching a replay, that energy will still be there. In terms of stuff that I'm doing, I have to flip to that page because Lord knows I don't remember off the top of my head. December 19th, I am going to be doing the Voice America radio show, Sovereign Self, and that should be 7 p.m. Eastern time. That's December 19th. And I just got a call for anybody that lives in they're actually on iHeart, so they're in like 38 states, WBZ Radio. Morgan called me. He wants to have me back on again. So we're trying to figure out a date for the Morgan show on WBZ 1030 radio. So I will be doing free readings all night with him. So just go to my website, MediaMari.com. And when we figure out that date, I will post it. And then I have stuff coming up in the new year. The Psychic Hour with Kelly Burkell is going to be January 25th, and working on a couple different classes and stuff. And Winter, I know you always have a million things. So what's happening with you next? I hope he gets to take some time off for the holidays.
Yeah, I'm trying to not book things, but you know me.
I know.
This Wednesday, December 14th, I'm going to interview on Zoom Joanne Wolf, who is a colleague of mine. She's an astrologer. She's awesome. And she's going to give us highlights of 2023.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, she's really good. And January 23rd, I'm giving a lecture and then some readings for the Amityville Public Library. It's a free event. You just have to sign up with the Amityville Public Library, and it's going to be about physical mediumship, which is a topic that most people are unaware of. And I am involved with the physical mediumship in Victorian times. That's going to be held in Lilydale, New York. It is a wonderful opportunity to immerse yourself in physical mediumship with the three top headliners will be Michael Shane, Gary Mannion, and Bill Bolt. There'll be lots of seances. And then there'll be 5 tutors, myself, Dr. Sue Barnes, a couple ladies from Australia, Karen Richards and Inga Croson, who owns a studio in Australia, and also Julie Andrani. So there are going to be opportunities to attend dark seances with materialization, apports, possibly, well, definitely trance speaking. I've seen the chairs move with people in them. I've been at these seances, levitation. It's
Cool.
an event that, you're not able to experience. So that's coming in June. And I do encourage you guys, if you can do it, to do it. And then I'm going to have Gary come back to Northport, Long Island, where he'll do some seances in the dark at my office, and pretty and fantastic stuff. I'm also going to be teaching trance online starting January 19th, an 8th class session. And I'll be teaching trance August 14th up at Lilydale, and also meet and greet your spirit guide at Lilydale. So those are just some of the things I'll be doing. Also in my group, if you're interested in joining a practice group, I have psychic and mediumship with Winterbrook practice private group on Facebook, so you can practice your mediumship. But I'm going to start once a month doing a guided meditation for people that'll be channeled, and once a month doing trance speaking, bringing them in. So that's just some of the things coming up. And yes, you're right, Mari, I do need to take a break, but hey, I'm also going to do a fundraiser, which I might mention to you when we get off, for the animal rescue.
Oh, cool. Yeah, definitely.
February, around that time.
Yeah, let me know. And I know we just had some people join in the Facebook, even though we're sort of wrapping up here, but the replay will be available. And again, anybody that missed it and wants to reach out to Maura, all her sessions are amazing, as everyone here can attest. The energy has been, fantastic and loving and all encompassing. Please reach out to her.
If they could see what I see.
Or feel what I feel. You don't want me to sing, definitely not. But MauraO'Leary.com is where you can find her. You can find me at MediumMari.com. And Winter, your email is your website.
Winterbrookmedium.com, all together.
Winterbrookmedium.com. All right, so that's where you can find us. And
we're all on Facebook too, as you can.
Yes, exactly. All on Facebook.
And I'm trying to resurrect my Instagram from the dead. And I got to be honest, it's a lot easier talking to the newly deceased than it is trying to resurrect, as Mari knows, when her account got stolen.
Yeah,
so I created a new Instagram account, guys, if you want to start following it. But yeah, I got my original one got stolen. So
I know the bad people out there. So you just have to keep moseying along. And yeah, I'm on all the platforms: Medium Mari, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all the the places. Yeah. So thank you so much again for coming on.
You're
and
welcome.
It was fantastic. And if anybody missed it, watch the replay. Maura talks about all the angels, and we'll answer probably a lot of questions in that, or just contact her directly, info@MauraO'Leary.com.
Bye, everybody. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas, happy Hanukkah, anything you celebrate. And we will see you in 2023.
Yeah. Love and light. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Kisses. Bye. Thank you, everybody.